So the Lakers won last night, and just like all y'all were, I was surprised too. I'm be honest, I was just as surprised as y'all were, because I thought they're gonna end up choking the game somewhere in that fourth quarter, but they didn't. AD came in clutch, Bron came in clutch, Lonnie Walker had a little stretch there in like the third or fourth, and then Russ was playing good out throughout the entire game. But if they want to continue to be a threat and actually make the playoffs and actually be a contender, there's some things they got to emphasize and some things they got to fix and sharpen up on. And so right before we get to these clips though, I would make sure that you subscribe, you like, you turn on those notifications, because we dropping videos at least 6 days a week. At least 6 days a week. If not 7. So make sure you subscribe, turn those notifications on. We're doing breakdowns daily, new games from day to day. So make sure you subscribe, got those notifications turned on. And let's get to this. First things first. Offensively, they got to stop. There's something they need to stop doing. And it's in these plays right here. I'm going to let this play out, though. I'm going to let this play out.
Will be a fun matchup. Holiday, one of the elite defenders in the game.
These are the possessions that will stop the Lakers from winning games. If they continue to try to go to isolation plays like this, where you just put AD in the mid post and have everyone else stand, it's not going to work, because you have 4 other guys on the floor who are only decent shooters, meaning they shoot between 35%, 36, 37, maybe even lower. That's their best shooters on the floor. Like right now, you got Lonnie Walker, Pat Bev, Troy Brown Jr., and LeBron. And LeBron's not even in range to actually be a threat. Pat Bev's shooting like 20%. Lonnie Walker shooting probably like somewhere in the 30s. Troy Brown, he's been solid. He's been solid the past few games. But this is not anything that's going to be hard for the defense to guard. So they got to stop isolating purely and be so stagnant. Purely being so stagnant. They got to stop doing that. It's going to hurt them. So they stopped it. They stopped doing these plays a few times throughout the game. They had a few of these plays throughout the game, but they didn't do it as much as they do in their past games. And that's the reason why they won this game, because they valued each possession and actually got into some real offense. Now let me show you a few more of these. Milwaukee got called for that defensive 3-second right there, but still, there's no way they're going to score the bucket had he not got called for that. They got bailed out. Now this one. Lonnie Walker got the ball, came down, pick and roll, rescreen, no passes, no nothing. Just went into a shot. These are the possessions that's going to mess up the Lakers season. Possessions like this.
Get involved in this game any further, Mike. All right, George, thank you. Everybody was kind of right on top of the situation.
And then another one by Bron. These are the only few. They only had a few throughout this entire game.
James back out to Beverly. Shot clock at 6.
Saying you're getting stagnant. Everyone, it just turns into a watch party. It just turns into a watch party, and it'll get ugly. Because you literally got, how many eyes is this? What, eight other dudes? Say 9. That's 18 eyes just watching the ball. Your teammates are just watching too. Defense is just watching. Everyone is just honed in on watching the ball. So if they continue to do this, it's just gonna be super easy to guard. Because if you try to kick it out off this ISO, you got no shooting. And if you do have shooting, it's maybe one guy, max 2 other players on the court that can actually hit down that open shot. So if they keep doing this, that's gonna hurt them. But they stopped it, and that's why they won the game. Like I was saying before. And another thing I want to show you with this post up. Before, let me let this clip play out. Let me show you how it finished out. Shots just like that is what's gonna happen. But on this bump by Bron, on this first one, when you go into these little turnarounds, try not to move it into 1-2. Try not to have your feet go down 1-2. You always see Kobe, Jordan always get to that hop where they get their back squared. Because now they do that, they could turn over either shoulder. And now since Brown went 1-2 right here, his right foot is a pivot. And so even though he has space on this baseline to be able to fade away, he can't, because his left foot is a pivot. I don't know if I just said it right then, but his left foot is a pivot. And so he even tries to go that way, but then you realize it's going to be a travel. And if he does try to go that way, it's going to be a one step off one leg, but that's an ugly shot to take. So always try to make sure you get to that. You get squared. You get your back, or you get to that hop, you get squared, so then you can turn over either shoulder.
James back out to Beverly. James makes him take a tough shot.
Those tough shots gonna hurt him. Now these possessions, these are better possessions right here because you got some motion. You got some motion. And so this is not more so about isolation. This was a possession that showed maturity because Milwaukee was at a run at this point. They cut that 14 point deficit down, came back in the game, but instead of the Lakers trying to go to that isolation like they always did before, they went into some actual motion offense and actually got something going. And so they did this. This was the first time they hit a three, came back. This is the one shot Brown got the first look. Holiday just hits a three. Next possession, they come back down. They could go back to the isolations like they always did before and tell someone just to get them a bucket. But no, this is maturity. Get into some action. Lonnie Walker, another big shot he hit. He had like a 8-0 run or like and then like 11 in the third or something like that. He went crazy. They're gonna need somebody else to step up aside from Bron, AD, and Russ. At least one other player. But now possessions like this, these possessions, when they want to go to an isolation, you got to have some motion before it. Because like I said before, you can't have 18 eyes or 16 eyes just watching the ball. That's too much clogging up the paint, and then no lanes. There's no lanes, and you got no shooting. So AD gets that isolation because they got into some motion that everyone doesn't get to just load up and watch. And now offensively, let's get away from the isolations. Offensively, if you watch the game, these pick and rolls were OP. These pick and rolls LA did last night, they're OP. Like they scored on nearly every single one of them. You had Bron and Russ throwing the pocket passes, the dimes off these pick and rolls. They went crazy last night. And if they continue to do this, they continue to stay efficient because they had 0 turnovers. Their connection, they were all in sync. This is something that they got to continue to emphasize. Because they was diamond all night. They was just diamond all night. Another one, Russ, with the second unit. It was even tougher for them to guard on the second unit. And now you also seen how they started to do these pick and rolls from the mid post. Because this gives them more space and gives them in more range to attack. Because now you got 3 guys on this weak side and no one at this top of the key over here. And so Bron has so much space to literally take one dribble and be in attack range. And be able to drop this pass off to AD. And AD doesn't have to take any dribbles to get to finish at the rim at times. And so he's already right there at the rim. You guys they're already in attack range. They're a paint team. They play in the paint. And so they're already in range to attack. Simply by just starting the pick and rolls lower. Bron, he's in the paint. AD's in the paint. Now it's tight. It's tight to throw passes, but that's why you got great passers like Bron and Russ who can make these passes. Then you got them on the glass too. It's tough to guard. And now they also they got to get in transition offensively. Possessions like this, you probably seen a lot of them. I didn't want to show like a whole bunch of transition plays. You probably already seen them. But they've got to get in transition after they get these stops. Great team defense they played last night. Great team defense from possession to possession. And now they get back down, transition offense, easy buckets. Defense and pace are going to be their best friends. Dang, now that AD is playing like AD, like the talented AD that we know, Bron can engage himself a little more defensively. He can put a little more energy on defense. Now he could take on the Kawhis, he could take on the Giannis's, he could take on those top wing players. He could actually go down there and really focus on that. Because now he doesn't have to worry about playmaking on the other side, hitting shots all the time, being the main scorer, all that stuff. He doesn't have to focus on that offensively so much because AD's picking up that load. And Russ has been picking up a little bit of it too. So LeBron also has another playmaker on his team, which he never really had. And so by AD and Russ stepping up, Bron gets to play a little defense. That's gonna help him out a lot. Middleton ended up hitting this though. I don't know why Russ ain't put a hand up. Now peep this. Now when you're watching games, don't just watch the ball. Watch the little details, the little stuff that are going on, like that people overlook. They told Winnie to step in over here in the middle because they already know the play that's coming. Let me go back right quick. They already know the play that's coming. They told Winnie to come over here, tag, get in this middle. Why? So he can make this tag and make it a little harder for this pass to get through. Buy Russ a little time to get back in position. Had Winnie not been there, it would probably been easy to make that pass. Great team defense, but I want you to peep this out of Bron too. Shot clock winding down. Gives it up. 4 seconds on the clock. Look as Bron's eyes go. Look where Bron's eyes goes. Other side looking at the shot clock. Got 3 seconds on the clock. Three seconds to go. So now he sees Giannis attack. He's just like, all right, I'm chilling. I'm just waiting for the shot to go up. He knows there wasn't gonna be enough time for him to get a shot off. That's why you even see Bron try to go and close out. It's those little things that's gonna help you win possessions. Great team defense. Pat Bev didn't leave his feet. He just put a hand up. Disciplined again by Winnie and Gabriel. He didn't leave his feet. He just put a hand up. You don't always gotta leave your feet to contest a shot. If you just stay, you don't gotta leave your feet to contest a shot. If you just stay down, get a hand high, you probably already did your job.
Lakers now at 62% from the field. This is a team that only 2 road wins this year, both against San Antonio.
Peep that out of Reeves too. Notice how when Drew Holiday went into that post up, Holiday hit him with that first bump, and Reeves took it. He took that bump chest. He took it to his chest. But then but that first bump, what it did to Drew was tell him, okay, Reeves is gonna be taking these bumps, so I could bump him again. He just comes back with the same force. But instead of taking that second bump, he falls back for the charge. Because now the refs see that he's really putting his shoulder down and really trying to make contact. So now Reeves just falls back and he's able to get that charge. All because he baited Holiday into thinking, oh, I could hit him with this bump again. He's gonna try to take it. I could just get some space. Nope. He got that charge. A little trick you can use to get charges. Don't take that first bump. Take that first bump to the chest. Well, on that second one, you go back. Or maybe on that third one. Maybe take 2, fall back on the third, or take 1, fall back on the second. Great plays like that. But defensively, the only thing that I've seen that will stop them from being able to get stops, like on a consistent basis, is this right here. Bron falling on the floor. Now he fell, yes. But you don't have to sit on the floor, put your hands up, and start talking to the refs. You can at least get up. I know it's a regular season game. It's Bron, whatever, all this and that. But you got to make sure you can't do this in the playoffs. You can't let your team go get back. And let's count the numbers. It's 5-on-3. AD's behind this play. And so AD to be doing the same thing sometimes. He'll fall and take 10 years to get up. You can't be doing that. It's going to give up a lot of easy buckets. And it's going to add up. Especially if you're playing in the paint, you're gonna fall all the time anyways. So if you just keep falling and not getting back on D, it's gonna hurt them. That's the clips I got for y'all today. But Lakers Bucks game, Lakers came out the win, gave up 129. That's a hell of a lot of points, but did enough just to get the win. If they want to keep winning, can't do those stagnant isolations. You see those stagnant isos, that's when the momentum begins to shift into other teams' direction, because Lakers got no shooting to be able to even kick out. So now all the defense is just stacked up, just waiting for them to put a shot up, and it's just not going to work. Two, offensively, keep using those pick and rolls. Keep using those same pick and rolls that they do from the baseline, do from the mid post, or do from the elbow, that get you within 1 or 2 dribbles so that you're already in attack range. Instead of doing them from all the way outside, they can still do them every now and then, but it just works so much better for them if they do it when it's closer to the basket. Because now you're in attack range and you're playing in the paint instead of playing the perimeter because they're not a perimeter team. And then 3, they got to fall in love with defense. Fall in love with defense. They played great defense throughout the game. They gave up a lot of points, but they brought it right back by scoring a lot. And so if they keep playing this high-level defense, that's going to be one of the keys they need to win. And how far the Lakers going to get, I don't know. Because I think Russ may end up getting traded. I don't know, because he's been playing better. But only by Russ playing better is going to increase his trade value. And then how's that going to affect the chemistry of the team? I don't know. So it's hard to judge this team. I want to wait till past the trade deadline to really see where the Lakers could shape up. Because that trade deadline could shake a lot of things up too. So, but yeah, that's the end of this video. Make sure you subscribe, you like, turn on those notifications. And we out of here.